to order. Before we conduct our regular order of business, Tom, I think I have to make a motion in order for me to run the meeting. Because our president and vice president are unavailable to be here for emergency situations, that I have to ask, is there a motion for me to conduct today's meeting?
Councilman Zosky to fill in as chair in the absence of our president and vice president.
Long motion, but second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any question? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I'll be your interim chairperson. Thank you. If you would, please pause for a moment of reflection, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
First District, David Ham.
Here.
Second District, Gloria Slay.
Present.
Third District, Charlie Brown. Fourth District, Pete Lindemoulder.
President.
Fifth District, Christine Sid. Sixth District, Ted Bilski.
Here.
Seventh District, Randy Niemeyer.
Present.
Is there a motion to approve the May 9th meetings minutes?
So move.
Second.
Motion is made second on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 3, awards and resolution. Councilman Ham?
Mr. Chairman. Kevin, where you at? There you are. Come up, please. Mr. Chairman, whereas Kevin McCune has bowling in his blood, his father Eugene is a 3-time PBA title winner and his grandfather Don won 8 and was once player of the year. And whereas 24-year-old McCune won the Players Championship with a 3-0 win over Jacob Butteroff in the best of 5 finals in North Brunswick, New Jersey on May 14th, 2023. Whereas the victory, Kevin certifies the McCunes as a 3-generation family of PBA Tour champions. The first time 3rd-generation bowler won a PBA event. Whereas notching his first career title win, first major, Kevin etched his own chapter to his family's illustrious bowling legacy. And whereas Kevin became the first player to win the first career title at a major championship, so Frisbee in the 2020 U.S. Open. Therefore, let it be resolved that the Lake County Council and all of the citizens in Lake County extend congratulations and praise to Kevin McCune for capturing the Professional Bowlers Association Championship, North Brunswick, on May 14th, 2023. And that a copy of this resolution be spread on the official records of the Lake County Council and an official copy be delivered to Kevin McCune. Resolved this 13th day of June, signed by Charlie Brown, myself, Dave Ham, Randy Palmentier. Randy Niemeyer.
Come on, Dave.
It was not intentional. Pete Lindemoulder, Christine Sid, Gloria Slay, and Ted Bilski. Kevin, congratulations.
Motion been made and second. Motion made second. All in favor of the, should say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Kevin, I just can't say how proud of you. I enjoy the sport. I'm not any good at it, but I'm one of the people that love watching it on television. So we got a TV star here, and he's also associated with our financial director, Scott. And when Scott says somebody's good at bowling, that means they're good. This guy's good. So, Kevin, would you like to say a few words?
I really appreciate it. I mean, it's definitely something that means a lot to me. It's obviously the whole reason I went out to be a pro bowler is to be the first 3-generation, and being honored, it's definitely very humbling. So I really appreciate it and couldn't thank you guys enough.
So I just have a question. How many 300 like perfect games do you have?
That count?
I don't care if they count or don't count.
That count 34.
Okay.
Good Lord. If you count all the ones in practice and stuff, over 100.
Awesome.
That's so crazy. I broke 200 once. It's like, tell them there's a change.
Yeah.
Was all that $1 in a million dollars.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And next item 3B is recognizing our officers.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution number 23-26.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second. Thank you. I'll
Motion made,
read.
seconded for the record.
Thank you. I'll read the resolution. Resolution recognizing Officer Ryan Leone, Sergeant Paul Shorley, Officer Roderick Shannon, Officer Zachary Collins, Officer Richard Stirk, Lake County Sheriff's Clerks Laura Lunkus, Wilson, I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name, or don't throw me in. All right. Kaylin Lasmer and Assistant Warden Kimberly O'Connor for their quick response to the Lake County Jail fire. Whereas shortly before noon on Monday, June 5th, 2023, a visitor entered the lobby of the Lake County Jail with a jug containing an accelerant, doused the lobby with the liquid, set it on fire, and ran out. And whereas the fire was put out quickly by Lake County Jail staff, preventing any significant damage or injuries, and whereas the Lake County Council recognizes the names I just read for their quick response and suppression of the fire set by a visitor in the Lake County Jail lobby. Now therefore let it be resolved that the Lake County Council recognizes the names that have been read into the record for their quick response and suppression of the fire set in the Lake County Jail lobby on June 5th, 2023. So resolve this 13th day of June, 2023.
Motion's been made, seconded. On the question, there being none, all in favor of approving this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I just like to say that on behalf of the citizens of Lake County, thank you. Thank you for everyone there, that everything you do, you protecting our assets, and to never know when you think something can be as dangerous as it can just in a minute, a second. So myself, thank you for your staff and everybody there involved. Thank you for what you did.
On behalf of the Lake County Sheriff's Office Corrections Division, I thank you for the acknowledgement to my staff. Corrections is often thankless. It's unsung heroes that work there that are often forgot about. So to have public acknowledgement of their duties, training, their sacrifice daily means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Item number 3C, is there someone willing to make a motion for the Park and Recreation month?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of the resolution proclaiming July as the.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we had a resolution. Do you want to read for the minutes? I
Oh,
apologize.
he can make the motion. I'll second it. It's not a problem.
Okay.
We have resolution 2327, resolution proclaiming July as Park and Recreation Month. Whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Lake County. And whereas our parks and recreation programs are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of a community and region. And whereas parks and recreation programs build healthy, active communities that aid in the prevention of chronic disease, provide therapeutic recreation services for those who are mentally or physically disabled, and also improve the mental health and emotional health of all citizens. And whereas parks and recreation programs increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas parks and natural recreation areas improve water quality, protect groundwater, prevent flooding, improve the quality of the air we breathe, provide vegetative buffers to development, and produce habitat for wildlife. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and the outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Park and Recreation Month, and whereas the Lake County Council desires to proclaim July as Parks and Recreation Month to recognize the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources. Now therefore let it be resolved that the Lake County Council declares July as Park and Recreation Month.
Motion was made by Councilman Ham, seconded by Councilman Niemeyer, written to the record by Councilman Niemeyer. On the question, there being none, all in favor of this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that.
It's okay.
They don't always do one for those types of monthly.
I've got my reading in for the day now.
Next item is the county assessor, Councilman Ham.
Mr. Chairman, Department 2001, I move for approval of an appropriation in the 2015 reassessment fund 1337, 63190, other professional services, $651,549.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Item 6.
Mr. Chairman, on Hobart Township,
They're rolling.
2004, I move for approval of a reduction in the 2015 reassessment fund 1337, 63190, other professional services in the amount of a negative $196,549.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes. Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Mr. Chairman, in Calumet Township Assessor 2002, move for approval of reduction in 2015 reassessment fund 1337, 63190, other professional services for a negative $455,000.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. On to the transfer.
I move for a transfer in the county general fund from 61130 technicians, $88,903 to 61160 office and clerical in the amount of $50,686 and 61190 part-time, $38,212.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You're welcome.
Thanks, Phil.
Next item would be the Lake County Commissioners. Is there anyone willing to carry this one?
Mr. Chairman, in the Lake County Commissioners Department 9305, I move for a transfer in the 911 fund 1399 from 61140 protective services, $75,000 to 64490 other equipment, $75,000.
Motion's made. Is
Second.
Second on the question. There being none, roll call.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Transfer. Yeah.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes. I'm sorry, Dave, was that I was on 9A, Adam.
No, we were on
8A.
the transfer tab.
I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. My vote reflection is the same, so 8A transfer. All those in favor of item number 8A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item B.
I move for a transfer in the 911 operating fund 1014 from 61140 protective services, $4,000 to 61100 overtime in the same amount.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Now, 9A. Councilman Ham, would you like?
I move for approval in Department 6002, appropriation in non-reverting self-insurance fund 4541, 63420, insurance, $2 million.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes. Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
And I move for approval of a resolution to approve the transfer of $831,595.92 from the seeded fund. Number 4012 2022-2, Lake County Local Roads and Bridges Map Grant Fund, number 9444.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Under the line item, is it 6?
Yeah, we're gonna get deferred.
Yeah. Said to double check. I thought it was 6. In order to create a new line item would require 6 votes. So what we would do is I would ask our deferral date, our postponement date is July 11th. Therefore, no action to be taken. I would like a deferral or postponement date of July 11th for item number 10, the creation of a new line item. Is there?
So moved.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the July 11th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, right, defer, along with the appropriation, a motion to defer to July 11th.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Opposed, get that deferred. Okay, thank you, guys. Yeah, so 11 the same.
What is the
We gotta do
deferral?
the same thing with.
What's the
juvenile
deferral
court.
date, Mr. President?
Yes.
What's the deferral date?
July 11th,
That still. Okay.
2023. July.
Mr. Chairman, I move to defer action on this until January 11th of 2023, that being for the creation of the line item as well as the appropriation.
Okay.
July 11th.
Correct.
Their motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hereby, both items, the appropriation and creation deferred till July 11th. Let's see, that puts us down to, Pete on item 12.
Good, Dave.
Is that Pam? Yeah, Pam.
I move for approval of the Lake County Court Juvenile Division, Court appointing, C.A.S.A program, Indiana Supreme Court, fiscal year 2023 C.A.S.A matching grant award.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Item 2.
Move for approval of the Lake County Court Juvenile Division Court appointed Special Advocate Program, Indiana Supreme Court, fiscal year 2023. C.A.S.A Capacity Building Grant Award.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Down to the planning commission, item 13.1.
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval. Nope.
For the grant awards.
No, we're at that planning commission. So, reselling the house.
I think we have to have, we do the motion on the floor first, or we have to?
I thought we usually open a public meeting to see if there's any conversations.
I don't think this is a public hearing, though. That was all conducted.
At the plan.
Yeah, plan
Yeah, so
commission.
this not required then, so just, okay.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. So item number 13.1 would require just a motion to approve, and it would take 2 readings.
And we can do that all today.
Yeah.
5, okay. Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of ordinance which 2561 Griffith First Christian Church owner and Agape Learning Academy, the petitioner, from 517 from R3 to B2, which passed the plan commission with a favorable recommendation, 7-0.
Second.
Motion's been made. Is that a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded on the question. There being none, is there anyone that would like to speak in favor or against this ordinance? There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes, motion carries. Yes, two absent.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to suspend the rules.
No second reading is required on zoning map.
Oh, it's not?
It's not.
Even though it's an ordinance?
One reading.
Correct.
Oh, it is.
Rezone to
There's
one
an
reading.
exclusion in the law.
Okay.
Item 13.2 then.
Perfect. I move for approval, 2562 Hebron Lodge, number 502, F and M, the owner, and Ray Brolt, the petitioner, from the 5/17/23 Planning Commission meeting, rezoning from A1 to B2. It did receive a favorable recommendation, 7-0.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries. Five passes absent.
Can we do 20A and B?
Can we do? Go ahead.
That's up to the chairman.
20A and B of the UDO and the proposed amendment.
Twenty-eight is a public hearing
Yeah,
item.
You want to open up for public hearing? Your call, go ahead.
Make a motion to open public hearing.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded, open the public hearing. All in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing hereby open. Public hearing to determine what action the Lake County Council will take under IC 36-7-4606G2 on the certification of Lake County Plan Commission decision to disapprove the rejection of the new Unified Development Ordinance by the Lake County Council. Is there anyone that'd like to come forward and speak on behalf of this? Is there anyone like to come forward and speak? Or anything the council would like to say anything?
One comment brought to me by a constituent was about enforcement of the UDO. Questions have been raised in the past of who enforces what, who it's delegated to, what's code enforcement, what is law enforcement, what is building code. Do we have any sort of specific direction as it relates to who enforces what and how it's enforced?
Correct, we do. It's covered under violations and penalties at the end of each ordinance, the building code and the zoning. And we're currently under the zoning and currently under the subdivision regulations.
Okay,
We have one inspector, one code enforcement officer for over 250 square miles, doing the best we can. So yes, we try to enforce it.
thank you. That was the only comment, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
So that building inspector, there's a lot of work going on. You got one guy for all Lake County.
Two building inspectors, one code enforcement.
Oh, okay. I mean, how many calls do they have a day? That
He
one
gets
guy?
over 1,000 violations for code enforcement every year. So, yeah, it's a very difficult, it's probably a very difficult, well, it's a very difficult job period, but he manages. And nobody goes to jail for zoning violations, as I said earlier, but,
Stop or I'll say stop again.
and then we go to court and judges give him more time to clean up. So, I mean, it's difficult.
Righto. Is there anything else to be spoken on item 20A, public hearing? If there's nothing further to be said on it, there's a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a motion to close?
So,
Second. Motion's made and second. All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is hereby closed. Item B.
No, actually,
We have to, oh. Actually, do you want to make the motion? That's just.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to approve the ordinance, the Unified Development Ordinance as written.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made, seconded. Roll call.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes. Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend.
Second.
Second, all in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
he wants a roll call on.
You want a roll call on it? Madam Clerk, roll call on the suspension, please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yeah.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes. Motion carries 5 2 absent.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to adopt the Unified Development Ordinance on second reading.
Second.
Motion's made and second to adopt on second on the question. There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Mr. Chairman, if I may lead the discussion on item B on proposed amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance that was just adopted. I propose the following amendment to insert the appropriate section road classifications of major arterials, major collectors, minor collectors, and local roads as defined by NERC. And for minor subdivisions, which are 3 lots or less, the following minimum right-of-way would be required. Major arterials, 50 feet of right-of-way, minor arterials, 40 feet of right-of-way, major collectors, 40 feet of right-of-way, minor collectors, 40 feet of right-of-way, local roads, 30 feet of right-of-way. For minor subdivisions, 3 lots or less, ditch and shoulder improvements are not required. And item 4, pitch of the ditches that are required will be from 3 to 1 instead of 2 to 1 for maintenance purposes. This was vetted at our study session. Mr. Alverson did offer comments that these right-of-ways are measured from certain lines as they are platted or recorded. Sometimes it's the middle of the road, sometimes it's not. He also said that these are the bare minimums of what they would need to maintain county infrastructure. And I am personally of the belief that government should always get by with the minimum of what it needs when it comes to private property rights. So that's why I proposed this ordinance, or the amendment to the ordinance for consideration. So that is my proposal. Thank you.
Second.
Motion's made second on the question. It was just brought to my
Yeah, just,
attention.
Mr. Chairman, real quickly, if I can explain to the council, because the council's heard a lot about the section 607
Yep.
of the statute, or 606 of the statute. Now this goes into 607 of the statute.
Yep.
Where council wants to make a recommendation to the plan commission to amend an existing ordinance. So what that means is that this will now be referred to the plan commission, who will then hold a public hearing on the suggestions of this council, if this motion passes, to amend the ordinance that was just passed. So that's procedurally where everybody's at.
Mr. Chair, my question would be to Tom. Is this, I mean, we voted unanimously.
Mhm.
But is this ordinance in effect until the commissioners go ahead and ratify it?
The county council has exclusive authority on the implementation of the zoning ordinance. So it does not have to be signed by the commissioners.
Okay, cool.
The way I understand this, Dave, is that we just adopted an ordinance. It is now in force.
Okay.
The proposal for an amendment will
It's
be
enforced October 1st.
correct. But the proposal for an amendment will go through the statutory process as Tom described with the plan commission, and then a recommendation sent back to the council based on it being vetted there.
Got you.
So this-
Council ladies had some input and was asking, I just got informed on this, to defer to next month on your resolution to do this.
On the amendment?
On the amendment, is that,
That's what she
is sending, it's up to you if you want to do it or call for the vote. I mean, I don't know, is there something that can we not go back to send additional if she has something else to add? I don't want to, if she has something to contribute, I want her to have that.
I think you could send another amendment to them and
So we can do another amendment. So if we get this and if there's something in that we'd like to add, we could add it to next month's meeting.
Yep.
That way, at least if nothing, it's off the table for now. Kind of like that idea. Is everybody else okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Are you? Okay.
Makes sense.
Ned, you good with that?
Got till October 1st anyway before the
We got
ordinance
till
becomes
October.
effective, so we
Very,
got
very
plenty of time.
good. If there's any other conversation to be had on this topic, if not, roll call.
Lay,
Pass.
Linda
Yes.
This is,
Neemeyer,
yes, this is the amendment.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes. Motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Do you want me to hold off on the preparation of the amendment to go before the plan commission pending next month's meeting with Councilwoman.
No, I would say go ahead, if I'm not speaking out of turn, by an attorney, but I would suggest that no, put it together definitely. That way we will all have something to review, and then if necessary, it could be on next month's agenda as well to amend or change or whatever.
You know, I advertised this in for a public hearing at the plan commission
Yeah,
level,
yeah.
so it'll
I
be
would move
difficult
forward
to
to-
change it if I need to change it.
Well, I think we have to move
So
forward.
me, okay, I'll do whatever you guys want.
The other problem is, Ned, is right now we have a couple of council members that are out, so I don't want to
I
speak
agree.
on their behalf without them being.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ned.
Thank you very much.
All right, where we at? Kevin, where we at on item 20?
We left off on.
Yeah, we gotta go
14.
backwards, right?
We're on 14.
14. All right, if you would, please returning back to the agenda, item number 14, combined election and registration. There's a resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a resolution permitting the Lake County Board of Elections and Registrations to pay an outstanding 2017
Let her have it, Pete.
I forgot.
deal with
this. This is $100.
invoice in the amount of $100 from the 2023 budget.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made second on the question. There being none, roll call, please.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent.
Finally, that monkey's off your back.
Next,
2017.
next item on the agenda be the health department. I see.
Mr. Chairman, I move for a deferral on everything included in 15 until
July.
July 11th of 2023.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second, but
Motion's made second on the question.
I'm voting postponement of this particular item.
Postponement is
Postpone.
postponed is good. Any further questions? There being none, roll call.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries for deferral 5 and 1. Postpone due to absence.
I think I was gonna take this one.
Okey doke, item 16, prosecutor.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve a transfer in the prosecutor's office 9001, the transfer from prosecutor's elderly abuse fund 8127 from 63231 travel registration $550, 63232 travel meals $425, 63233 travel lodging $400, 63234 travel transportation other $825, 63235 travel mileage of $90 to 62110 office supplies $635, 62410 other supplies $900, 64410 furniture and fixtures $335, 64420 office machines $420, the total $2,290.
Second.
Hold on 1 minute, please. Okay, motion's been made for item 16 for the transfer on the question. It was seconded, correct? Kevin?
Yes.
Motion's made second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 17, Sheriff's Department. Councilman Lay, would you carry that?
Yes, transfer County General Fund 1001 from 61110 office and administrators $77,460 to 61120 professional $77,460.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made second on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. On to the jail.
Jail 8002, transfer County General Fund 1001 from 61140 Protective Services $800,000 from 6211 office supplies, $50,000, to 61100 overtime, $800,000, 64410 furniture and fixtures, $50,000 for a total of $850,000. So move.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item, Councilman Niemeyer is Park and Rec. Jim Vasella said he wouldn't be able to, he had a previous engagement. He said he wouldn't be able to make it this morning.
It's not a problem. Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion for the grant application and grant approval, grant oversight committee. See Lake County Parks and Recreation, U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, Indiana Department of Transportation Enhancement Grant Award. I so move for approval.
Second.
This is NDOT awarding an additional $522,815 in federal funding for Parks Department's existing VMPT grant award. This is a federal grant, requires 20% local match, which department has already in their cash reserves. $104,563 will be the local match.
Any additional questions, comments? There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2. Thank you. If you would, pick item number 20 is where we're next, Jasmine.
Yes, 20D1.
20D1.
C.
C.
Oh, there's a C?
Okay,
There's 20.
thank you.
Oh, there it is, sorry. I'm sorry, item number 20C is in Charlie. Is there someone want to carry that? This is amending the ordinance. Identifying security protection fund. Ray, do you have any update on that at all?
Let's check a break.
Yeah, Ray.
No, I know the update. This is comply with, this is comply with the statute. The statute's changed to allow, instead of 50 cents being utilized, $1. So Larry's made an exhaustive search of a lot of our old ordinances, and he's done a great job of fixing some of these that make them comply with the statutes. So that Christine was seeking approval of that ordinance.
I need 2 readings.
Yes.
Is there anyone willing to carry that?
Chairman, I move for approval amending the ordinance establishing the Lake County Identification Security Protection Fund, non-reverting fund, ordinance number 1336D.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded on the question. There being none, roll call, please.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yeah.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Is there a
Chairman, I move for suspension of the rules.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded to suspend? Roll call.
Linda Mulder,
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes. Motion to suspend passes 5.
I move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve on second reading on the question. There being none, roll call.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Page 505, item number 20, D as in David, number 1.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to amend resolution 2022-95, which was a resolution of the Lake County Council regarding appropriation of county reserve revenue funds to the city of Crown Point, Indiana.
Second.
And I would ask Mr. Blanchard or Mr. Schmall for any details that need to be added.
Motion's been made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Ham,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Item 20, D as in David, number 2. Anyone?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of a resolution of the Lake County Council regarding appropriations of county reserve revenue funds to the city of Hammond, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded on the question. There being none, roll call.
Lay,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes, motion carries 5 yes, 2 absent. Briefly, Tom, I know Councilman Brown's been out, but New Chicago in their interlocal agreement that they were supposed to, do we know, did that attorney get to you? Did that get done?
I've seen some emails back and forth about it
Yeah.
and these get sent over to Matt, but I am not aware of whether they reached out to Matt.
Okay. I'll try later on today.
How much money each council member have?
What about nine? How much each council member had?
Yeah.
About $1 million.
Gotcha.
Okay, next item on the agenda, 20, E-Echo. Citizen appointment, county domestic violence. Do we have any, prospects? Anybody? Anyone know? Anybody?
At 1.4. Mr. Chairman, this one needs somebody from the Department of Child Services. It had been Ellis Dumas previously. And I think Council Lady said was going to look into somebody else from DCS so that deferral would be appropriate.
There's a motion to postpone until July 11th.
Second.
A motion been made, seconded on the question. There being none, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I know it's not a controversial deferral or something. I'm not, just a roll call. It's just we had to make Jasmine go through everything. If it's not, if it's going to be questionable, that's when I figure you do a roll call. So, with my notes, I ain't doing a much going. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Item number 20 F. Combined councilman and citizen appointments, Lake County Study Commission of Veterans Affairs. Do we know if we had any, I thought we had, we did, there we go. I think.
Everybody's appointment is up in June. And I thought at the study session.
We were going to go ahead and just reappoint. Is there anyone willing to make a motion to reappoint? Well, first off, we have to open up nominations for the Lake County Study of on Commission of Veterans Affairs. And then we can make a motion to reappoint. Once the nominations are open, then we can go and
I'll move to open nominations for the Commission on Veterans Affairs.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded to open up nominations. Any nominations?
Can I read all the names?
I would suggest just reappointment of the existing board as it exists would be okay.
I have a problem with that.
I move to reappoint the existing board.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded to reappoint. Is there any other nominees? There being none, is there a motion to close nominations?
So move.
Second.
All in favor of closing nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nominations are hereby closed. Is there a motion?
Motion to seat all members.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? I think that does it, right?
Randy Palmetier.
Yeah, we got it.
Randy Palmetier.
Yeah.
Randy, you kind of bulked up a
Well,
little bit. Have you been eating Wheaties or what's going on?
Probably,
More barrel chested than I remember.
I'll tell you, no offense to Randy, but I'm not him.
I know, Randy.
but probably to make things equal, we should allow Randy Niemeyer to do the update.
There you go.
I don't have any update from Randy Paul.
But he probably don't.
I don't know.
Paul Matier wanted to come and give us an update with the new council once a year annually. He'll probably be here on Tuesday. If not, I can reach out to him later on today. I asked to place that on the agenda because I felt a lot of the changes we see, whether it's in tourism or in parks or whatever, I think it's important that some of our appointees come in here and just kind of give us a 2-minute update on what's
Is this
going on.
for the RDA, Ted?
Pardon?
RDA?
Yeah, Regional Development Authority, yeah, RDA. So I was hoping for an update. Maybe we'll see it on Tuesday. If not, we can always postpone until,
Today's Tuesday, Ted.
I mean, yeah, well, God,
Some Tuesday we'll see it.
yeah, maybe next Tuesday in July.
There you go.
Wow. Next Tuesday in July, I meant, so.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question, back up a little bit. On this 9/11 fund, is there anyone here that handles that?
The gentleman was earlier,
Okay.
the director, but I
Well, what I was going to request of the director is to notify the Gary Public School System. He said he had notified one of the charter schools. And I would ask that he notify them of the program. Since they have been taken over by the state, I'm not sure how DUAB, which is the Stress Union Appeals Board, as well as this MGT. And as of July the 1st, there will be a new board appointed. I believe it's Senate Bill 327, I believe that's correct. So probably by notifying them, maybe they will choose to attempt to participate in the program. So I will.
Would you like us to take some action, something come to the Gary Public Schools? You want to put draft something and then have our secretary, Carol Cody, put out something from the council to the Gary schools, letting them know that to reach out to, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. In other words, just tell them that they, of course, have to determine it's still state control and probably will be state control for many, many years.
I think it would be best then if we maybe, if you have something and put it into words and then send it to the school, Gary City School Board.
Yes, or they still would be under the emergency manager. It's an advisory board. I've read the law on it. It may be one of the worst written laws I've ever read, but I would send it to the, which is the emergency manager. That's even question. I believe the gentleman is going to be appointed. That's confusing in the law.
Right.
But I believe, has already been appointed, but will be reappointed July the 1st. I think if we do that, at least they will be aware of the program. So I think your suggestion,
I
appreciate
appreciate if you
it.
have something, you know, lawyers are much better word merchants than I am.
Well,
you guys sell by the word and syllable, right?
Try to.
Try to bill out by the syllable.
I'm sure Mr. O'Donnell will be able to handle it.
If we could come in something.
If not, seek assistance from Mr. Niemeyer.
Is the council, everybody on the council okay with just putting something out there, letting them know that this opportunity is available for the schools, kids?
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be an issue. Any other further business from the council coming forward? Okay,
One,
please.
Pete, you had something?
No.
Okay. As we go into budget season, I talked a little bit with Scott about this, is making an effort that at least once through the process that the actual budget committees advertise, schedule meetings for a little bit of public vetting of some of the budgetary items. I'm not proposing to intercede or micromanage what Scott is doing at all. I think it's important to allow him to do what we hired him to do. But somewhere in the process to start scheduling some actual budget committee meetings, because we have 3 council members on each committee, to participate in the process, be prepared, and have a little time to ask and answer questions in a committee meeting setting.
I'm not sure the direction that the chairman's going to go or the vice chair, Council Lady Sid. I can tell you in previous, the chairperson has been able to call and schedule those meetings, and then the folks that are just serving as a trustee on that fund would then make determination whether they can attend. And it was priority was because there are so many that if you can't make it, the chairman has to be there, but
Right.
The other committee, standing committee members would cover if the chairman couldn't be there. And those scheduling would be done by the chair for those that can make it. That's how we did it. And there's some out there that are so small. There's one staff member, and those departments, we've just let that person that's the chair of that determine whether or not do you need to pull this person out. There's 1 per 2 people in this department. Are we going to pull them in here for an hour or just?
I guess what I'm hoping for, Mr. Chairman, is when there is an opportunity to get 2 or 3 committee members together, that we utilize that process for transparency's sake and also a little extra vetting of the budget as we go into next year.
I would say my suggestion would be at the July meeting, have a schedule available for everything you chair and every council member, and then start working to figure out your schedule. But then by then, Mr. Brown and Council Lady Sid will be back here and let them, I don't want to speak out of turn.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, again, I'm not objecting to what Mr. Niemeyer is suggesting, but now you're coming under the open door law. Once you have more than one.
Yeah, I was suggesting that we advertise and have.
Oh, yeah, you must do that.
Yeah.
You don't have, that's a much more extended, and I don't
I
disagree
think
with.
it's such a ridiculous law. It's at the point of being asinine that I won't hold a meeting just because that law is so stupid.
Well, it sounds like the former president of the United States. It may be stupid, but it is the law, unfortunately.
That's why I just will have it at the public meeting. I'm not gonna go out of the way and make an inconvenience all those folks for something that take 2 seconds to talk about on a telephone call you no longer can do. That's not good government at all. That puts more inhibited restrictions on your ability to govern. So I'll just do it here at the regular meeting. That's my play on it. But every teacher's own, right?
Thank you.
Scott, have you communicated with departments yet?
Yeah, timely discussion, actually. Yesterday evening, an email went out to all the department. It's formally kicking off the budget process. In that, guidance or direction was, please submit increases of your budget no more than 3% for your total budget, including salaries. It was emphasized that's guidance, it's not a directive, so departments can ask for beyond that, but that's an attempt to rein in some of the requests that have come in that have been egregious. Example, last year, total request requested budget was $19 million more than what we could balance with the state. So what that means is if we just gave everybody what they requested, submitted to the state would say rejected, cut $19 million. So my attempt is trying to get in front of this with the departments and trying to have educate them more as well in this process. And we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of stress on this budget in terms of Oracle's new in terms of the budget module. So I think there's gonna be a lot of confusion and stress for departments just getting acclimated with that. And even myself and Tori rebuilding out processes behind the scene to accomplish this budget. So in the past, we had everything set up, but now we have to rebuild that infrastructure as we go. So there's going to be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that hopefully you guys don't see, because if you guys do see it, then there's something wrong. Something's broken. So we asked all those requests come in by July 17th. That way we have a little bit of time to roll that up by August 1st, when is the official deadline. Things must be submitted to the auditor's office. And then I emailed to Christine and Charlie a proposed workshop, meeting workshop schedule. And we can maybe even accomplish some of those needs around those meetings that Randy's requesting. Effectively, that schedule looks like every Tuesday, Thursday for every week in September and October, there's a workshop at 1 p.m. That was a proposal. Council can do what they seem fit. In the past, we have scheduled those, and then after the first 2 meetings, we canceled them all because they weren't needed. So again, that proposal's been provided to Christine and Charlie. I'm just looking for their input and finalization, and then Carol can email that and socialize that to the press and the departments. But again, I know the departments are going to have extra stress this year with a whole new system, things like that. It should be better, but I'm confident there will be a couple glitches in there here and there that we'll have to work through that might create extra stress. But again, I communicated guidance. I said, hey, please don't submit a budget request more than 3% of your 23 budget increase. Doesn't mean they're going to adhere to that. That's just guidance. Again, the pie is only so big. If we place $100,000 more in contracts, that's $100,000 taken away from somewhere else, whether it's salaries or reserves. And I do know the headwinds for next year that at least have been identified initially are going to be how we decide to manage the 27th pay that occurs every 10 years. So next year is a 27th pay. So what that means is about $5 million of expense impact on levy funds, if depending on which way we handle the 27th pay. And there's a lot of pressure on health insurance costs. We're looking at a potential increase on that of close to $5 million. So those two alone are a $10 million number on approximately $170 million levy. So we have that to work through. That unfortunately, there's really not much negotiation on the group insurance. There could be some wiggle room on the 27th pay, depending on how we handle that, but so that's what's set forth for the 24 budget.
So, Scott, would it be true that you could fix the 27th payroll with twice monthly payroll?
That would be a remedy, yes.
Another one could be, you
Yes,
just,
absolutely. That's a
you you
good
take actual salaries and you divide it by 27 instead of 26.
Correct.
Otherwise, the people would get, if they kept their same salary amount per pay, they'd get a raise and then another raise on top of it. It's like, be like a double raise.
Correct.
So we have to do something.
Correct. Yeah, so if we just said 27 over 26, it's about a 4% increase just by itself. So if we held salaries constant, paid everyone out the same through 27 pays, they would have a 4% pay raise over 23 off of that. But going forward, they won't have their 25 paycheck won't really receive a raise over 24 in total.
Right.
So yeah, it's something we have to maneuver around.
Right.
What would you suggest is the most, just divide it by the additional pay period? And then give a appropriate pay raise to offset?
Tom's suggestion of 24 pays, I think works, and then also Pete's suggestion works. I think we would need input from our IT staff in terms of flexibility within the system and what would take the least amount of.
Have you reached out to them?
We've had conversations, but we've not been in depth, so they're aware.
We make sure we have it on the agenda, Scott.
Yeah.
And someone hear from them to talk about it next month.
Yes,
I think it's probably pretty important, you guys.
Who came
Yeah.
up with that
Oh,
24 page? Is that you, Tom?
Tom.
I just remember talking about it when I was on the council.
I think that's a great idea.
I just don't know how much it screws up with hourly and salary. Because then we'd be running two different payrolls.
I don't know.
Schedules, correct? Because I'm sure some departments might have hourly and salary, and the salary people are 15th at the end of the month.
I think everybody's hourly, they're based on their salary's based on an hour.
No, I'm saying if you did go to that.
Correct.
Because it would screw up on the hourly employees.
Oh,
Because then you would have like, sometime they would get like 3 weeks of pay and sometimes 2.
well, yeah, we'll need an analysis or assessment of that. I see your point.
Right.
It's very valid. The other side of it
One
is
addition.
the paycheck we received on Monday is effectively
Right.
by a month thing.
Yeah.
It costs $5 million for the one.
But yeah, I think we just need, I think we need to see both and
Right.
see what the solution.
I'm just saying, like, if you
Yeah.
had hourly employees and salary employees in the same department, that whole 15th and 2 pays a month would kind of really jazz some things up.
Yeah, the number of days between changes a little bit,
Right.
especially in February with 28 days.
I think they could, okay, well, we don't come up with any
But-
pay raise, 0 pay raise, and everybody gets a
Sometimes
bonus.
29. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
When is it,
Ted,
May or something?
all right.
Yes,
Scott and Tori have made it so much easier. I mean, got a few new, whatever, council member, but compared to what we used to do and what Scott and Tori are doing now is night and day. It's making it so easy. So I think it'd be great if the chair, we're all gonna vote on it, but the chairperson of that committee get together with Scott and Tori. Then we don't have to worry about issuing all these public notices for Dan. But if the chairperson gets together with Scott and Tori in that department, I think we can come to some resolution there. Try to make this as simple as possible because Scott and Tori have definitely done that.
And then the emphasis on the 3%, again, that's focused on about a dozen levy funds. That doesn't preclude departments from assessing their user fee funds or grant fee funds and making sure they're optimizing their finances there and softening the burden on those levy funds and using those user fee funds as designed. We have a habit, at least I've noticed in the county, where a lot of departments like to use those user fee funds as their savings account and lean on the levy fund. So the more we can transition away from, invert that, lean more on the user fee funds as much as we can, and then the levy funds, I think, will be optimal. It's going to take probably a few budget cycles, but I think we can get there.
But for example, the reason I say chairman, if I'm chairing some committee and Councilman Lay's on there with me, or Councilman Niemeyer, I can't make it. Notify one of you fellas, maybe you could make it and sit with Scott and the department head, and I think we make it pretty simple. But I like Scott's idea with the 3% and at your overall budget in 001.
Yeah.
Services and charges, supplies, salaries, everything.
I don't know. All right, well. If there's nothing from the council, Mr. Blanchard, anything to add to the discussion? Anything going on we need to know about around the room? Linda, is there anything you'd like to add? Jasmine? No. Is there anyone from the public who would like to say a few words or remonstrate any comments? Would please come up to the microphone, identify yourself so our staff can make sure we get the name spelled right in the minutes.
Hello, Connie Wachala, W-A-C-H-A-L-A. I'm a resident of Highland. I would like to thank you for recognizing the many values, the many benefits and value of the park and recreation areas in that beautifully written proclamation, and for approving the grant to the Lake County Parks and Rec Department. I'd love to see a policy formalized in the 30 by 30 resolution. I also would like to mention how much is going on in the county in response to sustainability and resilience. So in Highland, we have a Highland Neighbors for Sustainability group. We were named as advisory associate partners to the town of Highland and on sustainability issues. We are working on a prairie restoration on the Erie-Lackawanna bike path that NIPSCO gave us. We wrote a grant and NIPSCO granted $5,000 to do this restoration. I'm also working with an East Chicago group called EC Green. This last Saturday, we went to Washington Park and weeded their pollinator garden. In Munster, our Highland group co-hosted an Earth Day event in April with the Munster Sustainability and Sustainable and Green group. In Cherville, we're working with residents to create a sustainability group. There's all kinds of things happening in the county. One exciting thing is in Gary, the Earth Charter is a nonprofit from Indianapolis. They have a yearly climate leadership council. It's actually for elected officials and administrators, staff people to come and learn about what's going on in many different communities of the state. This year it'll be in Gary at IUN on September 8th. Government officials, elected officials, and staff members can register for free. I invite you to all come. Last year it was in Richmond, Indiana. 2 years ago it was in Bloomington. So in 2017, the year I went, it was in Goshen. It's a very interesting kind of event. I also wanted to mention that this is a Indiana University Press book, Climate Change and Resilience in Indiana. They have their researchers at IU writing about all kinds of topics, climate and water, Indiana forest resilience, biodiversity and species movement, Hoosier agriculture in a changing climate. So I'm just thanking you for the work you're doing and asking you to do more. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes, ma'am, if you would please come up and just your name and so we can get the spelling right in the minutes, and then the floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Beth Uram, and
What else did you need?
I couldn't get the first.
Beth Uram, URAM. I'm in Crown Point, and the reason I'm here today to speak is the upcoming vote that the council is going to be making regarding public health, the core public health and opting in. I have a bunch of information here. I also have a commitment from council members and the commissioners. Back in 2020 or 2021, August of 2021, I'm sure you're aware that Governor Holcomb created a public health commission. That consisted of Dr. Christina Box, Dr. Judy Monroe, and former Senator Luke Kenley. I've been following Hoosiers for Medical Liberty that has been following SB4 for over a year now. They've been following this, and there's a lot of good information from that group, providing transparency regarding our public health. Back when this Public Health Commission was formed, there are 5 videos with this commission. The first video has Senator Kensley discussing removing funding from non-compliant counties to coerce them. He discusses overcoming pushback related to mandates from the state governor and how the program will eliminate deviation. There's another video where Senator Kenley reported that they can bypass legal friction point passed in 2021, SB1. These are videos that you can go find and hear these people speaking. There's also another video on discussion on coercion and forcing autonomous counties into the program. The current health services aren't effective coercion, suggesting expansion. And then in video 5, Senator Brooks discusses re-education campaigns for resistant counties. I understand that SB4 is going to legally double the required core public health services who opt in. I'm asking this council to have a public hearing before making any decisions next month regarding opting in.
All right, if we could, you're
Can I get a
speaking
moment?
way ahead of us because I have no idea what you're talking about and addressing. So I'm going to ask if you would stay there for 1 second, and Attorney O'Donnell to kind of bring the council up to speed about what this is about, because I have no idea about something we're going to vote on yet.
Okay,
We haven't.
fair.
This is, SB4 is an opt-in option for counties regarding core health, like Beth was saying, that would allow the county to opt in, perform the services that we're performing, and I've spoken to Nick about this, and do them better because there would be additional funds for those core health services. All of the services are services that our department already provides. I've spoken to the State Department of Health, and the thing that's a little unusual about it is it says that the legislative body does this, but it's actually defined as the Board of Commissioners. So the Board of Commissioners have to make that determination in the statute to opt in for this additional funding. And the funding is substantial. It's millions of dollars additionally that would come into the health fund. Matt and I have spoken about it a little bit. I've spoken to Nick about it. I've spoken to the State Board of Health. It's the ultimate decision to opt in or not opt in, though, is not done by this body. It's done by the county commissioner.
Okay.
Which is unusual because it's.
We would create the fund, though.
If there's a,
Right.
yeah, if it.
We
and
would
there has
create
to be
the
a
line
separate
item.
fund.
Yeah.
There has to be a separate fund for these dollars. We would create that fund.
Does that
But
kind
I'm
of
not aware
spell
of
out
it.
our responsibility then?
It does.
We are, so that keeps you, if you want to continue your fight, that you might want to attend the next commissioners meeting, because they would be,
Okay,
that's
so
who will
the
be coming
commissioners
to
would be
first.
the ones that are opting in. It wouldn't be this body that opts in.
This body would only create the fund
It would create the fund. So the commissioners,
to receipt the money.
sure. When would they be, are they going
Is
to
there
be
next
making a
meeting?
vote? Is there going to be a public hearing regarding this?
Go ahead.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not aware that there's been enough discussion between the Board of Commissioners and the Health Department. I don't know if Matt's online. Matt and I have talked about this a little bit.
I've done some homework on this too.
Yeah, and but it has to be opted in by the Board of Commissioners, by staff.
Okay.
I took time to read all 37 pages of the current bill. And while there was a lot of kind of untoward things that happened in 2021 in the lead up to this bill. The bill is written differently than what you saw in some of those meetings that were recorded. Granted, those meetings are cause for alarm when
And those,
people
that's not,
say things.
SB4 is written. This, of course, it did occur before. That occurred in June 30th of 2022.
So also this bill gets kind of incorporated into Title 16 of the Indiana Code, which I've been researching some of those provisions too, which are fairly detailed. And I do think that there is some need for study. There's some need for more details because there's no such thing as free money. And when we're talking about a couple $1 million possibly coming into the county, there are certain provisions as it looks in the code. And Mr. Lay and I both agree that there are certain laws that are poorly written and allow for interpretation. And I think this is no different. That some study is needed. And I've also spoken with Mr. Schmall about this, that if we're receiving money that's duplicating service, what impact does that have on our general fund outlay? Do we have to hire more staff? Do we have to create more capital expenditure with facilities? You know, there's kind of a ripple effect to this that is bigger. And the facilities and staff part of it is purely the executive job, which is the commissioners. So the council only creates the platform to receive the money. The commissioners will actually decide we're in or we're out. But the details of Indiana Code 16, Title 16 is what we need to dive into and how this impacts it.
I guess my concern is, are we going to run into, because I went down and testified, or not testified, I was down at the State House with a petition to get Governor Holcomb to stop the state of emergency. I think there was a lot of abuse of power, and there was a lot, and this is what concerns me is, speaking personally, I know what COVID did to, personally, I know a friend, 2 friends, my father-in-law currently has been diagnosed with congestive heart failure. My biggest concern as a layperson coming in with this money coming in, what is the government going to do? Are they going to force vaccinations? Are they going to tell us that there's contact tracing? Are we going to run into a situation like we did?
So as I've read the law, it doesn't mention anything about that in Senate Bill 4, but it does talk about statistics and data and certain databases and
Sorry.
sharing and
Apologize that I'm taking your time, but this is concerning to me. My father-in-law was diagnosed with congestive heart failure just a week ago after getting the booster shot. He never had any heart problems. Yeah. So this is very concerning to me.
It's concerning for everyone.
Like having the government more money, is more money going to put more control over the people? Are we going to be contact traced? There's a lot of information here, and I apologize that I am not more prepared, but I understand that this is going to a vote to the commissioners whenever, but this needs to be addressed, and I'd like to have some transparency with what this county council is going to do. Are you going to accept, are the commissioners going to accept opt-in? I think people deserve to.
I don't think anyone from this board could speak, just like I can't speak on your behalf and say, are you going to get an inoculation? I don't know if you are.
Okay.
I can't assume you are, and I can't assume you're not.
You know what? And
so
I
that
appreciate that, but
that would be from what they are.
My concerns with this, I do not. I think
I can tell you, I can tell you how I'm gonna vote. I'll tell you right now. If the commissioners opt in and they needed to establish a fund, a source for that, then I'm gonna do what needs to be done to support the Board of County Commissioners.
Would you be willing to sign transparency agreement with the people and hold a public hearing about what exactly SB4 and what this core public health is going to entail? Are you willing?
You asked me what I was gonna do, and what I'm willing to do is if the Board of County Commissioners opt in, then yes, I will create the fund for that money to go to. Do I need to sign to have any covert? If I have responsibilities that would allow me to make decisions, but I'm not going to sign a document that means nothing if I don't have any decision on anything.
Mr. Bilski,
you know, I'm not going to.
Point of order, and certainly don't want to be impolite, but where is this going?
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess.
But certainly at the same time, I think it's valid to say that the resources of the state of Indiana are very flush. We're blessed to be in a state that has budget surpluses. We have trailed greatly compared to other states in our attention to healthcare in the state. And I think also it could be that there is a concerted effort by the state. I know people are worried about control and how it's going to work, but they're trying to put more resources to health departments to better the health of the population in our state. And if there's something specific in SB 4 that you're very scared about, I think it's valid to say that. But I would say instead of being fearful about something, read through it and let us know if there are things, causes for concern that we can take action on. Because fear doesn't, just the fear of something is not necessarily valid. You need to know specifically what the problem is.
That's why I've read the bill.
Okay.
And I agree with Councilman Lindenmoller. There are good things in the bill, right? There are some parts of that bill that are needed, right? Things that deal with obesity and diabetes and addiction cessation and those sorts of things are definitely needed investments. There are also enough ambiguities within the law that allow for what could potentially end up as certain government overreach. It's definitely there. Okay, but this body is not a state legislative body. The commissioners also aren't. One of the best things you could do, Beth, is contact your state legislator, Ms. Althoff, I believe is your legislator. Talk to her about this bill, some of your concerns you have with it. There's a little bit of time here before this council considers even voting on the creation of the line item.
Okay.
And dive into this thing with Julie a little bit and try to figure some of this out because it is definitely not a perfect bill.
Okay.
And I have a lot of those same questions you have. That's why I've been studying Senate Bill 4 as well as Title 16 of the Indiana Code, which is quite voluminous. So dive into some of that stuff,
Okay.
show up at the commissioners meeting. They have public comment as well. Make sure that you're communicating.
Okay. I was here and I meant no disrespect, Mr. Bilski, at all. I'm just.
I'm
I'm
not gonna
just
jump
still-
into that two-headed storm on whether you wanna get vaccinated or not. I don't
Okay.
care.
Talk to Jerry Tippy as
I
well.
will, I will.
I say
Thank
no.
you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Beth.
So the council's aware that opt-in has to occur by September 1st.
So we have all the course. So I hope that answered some of your questions and if anyone, sorry, Councilman Blake.
yeah, I would like to say something. Happy Father's Day to the fathers here and those that will become fathers in the future.
Sure.
I have another meeting that started at 10 and I've asked the chair that I leave.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting's hereby adjourned. See everyone next time.